Alright, boys and girls, and welcome to Gordon Guitar. A cool song here from CODY, Fry, and this song is called What If. Okay, so I just accidentally ran over this song searching for another actually, so this one was a great mistake. This has some kind of a cinematic feeling over it, this song, like it should fit in a Disney movie or so. Cool song here, deserving some attention. So CODY Fry, What If, let's take a look at this one. Alright, so we're going clean here, no need for any capo. Alright, so we have 6 different chords, I believe, yes we have, and we'll need to go over them to learn how to pick them and strum them. Okay, we'll come to that later, but anyway, first the chords. We'll start with the D here, so that is open D, second G, third B, and second E. So that is a G here, so third on E, second on A, open D, open G. We'll go with open B here, and third E. We have the B minor. That's a bar chord, so you place a bar here on the second fret from the A string and down, so 5 strings from bottom up like this, second position, and then the rest you need to add here will be 4th on D, 4th on G, and 3rd on B. We have E minor, so that is open E, second A, second D, open G, open B, and open E. We have a D here, but with an F sharp in the bass. So the D F chord like this. It's second on E, then I mute the next string, which is the A. I lean my finger, which I'm using on the second E here. My next finger, I'll lean that on top of the A. So it gets muted like that. And then we have open D, second G, third B, and open E. And then finally we have the A. Okay, so that's the A here, open A, second D, second G, second B, and open E. And I believe we got all the chords there. So let's take a look at this song. And this is a mix between pickings and strummings, okay? So we'll start with the intro actually. And as far as picking here, we can do it in a correct way, which could be a bit difficult. You need to work a little bit more than the more easier way, which I'm gonna show you. So you can go either way here, all right? So let's start with the intro. It's based upon D, G, B minor, and then back on G. So you hold the chord as it is, the first one, which is the D. Okay, so we have patterns here that follow pretty much the same principles, just different strings depending on what chord, of course, but the patterns look the same. So the D here first goes like that. Okay, so it's open D, second G, third B, second E, and back to second G. All right, so that is the pattern. And to simplify this, if you think that is too much, we have one note here out of these 4 that is pretty much a filler. It's there if you listen to the song, but you could skip it if you think it's too much to work with, because we're gonna work a lot with these patterns now. So in this case and all these cases, it's always the 3rd note in the pattern, all right? So in this case, it's the 3rd fret B string. That one you can skip. So the real one is again like that. You can skip the 3rd note, this 3rd B string, so the pattern will be, that will be the rhythm. So only open D, second G, second E, and second G. Those notes there are necessary. So this real pattern here, so to speak, a couple rounds of it to get the feeling for the rhythm goes like this. It challenges you with time, because you need to work with this a lot here in the verses and pre-chorus and so. But the pattern that is a little bit easier goes like this. It's actually a huge difference there to work that if you think with time. So it's up to you to decide if you want to go with the easier route or this original version here. Anyway, the third note in any of these patterns will go on here. That's the D chord. Let's move on to the G. Okay, so for G, you need to hold only the bass note here, which is the 3rd fret on the E string, okay? Everything else is open, so the pattern goes like this. Okay, so that is 3rd fret E string in the bass, then open D, open G, open B, and back to open D. And here again, the 3rd note, the open G, is optional, all right? So that is one round. The B minor next, so hold the chord as it is. I'm gonna play that. So I play 2nd A, 4th D, 4th G, which is optional, 3rd B, and back to 4th D. And then you go back to G, and that is the same pattern as we just learned. So the intro here is D4, G4, B minor 4, and back to G4. 4 rounds of everything. It goes like this. So that's the intro. That intro will be coming back a little bit later. All right. Let's start with the actual song here, the verse play. Okay, so you're gonna continue with the same patterns here, and you're just gonna alternate D4 and G4. So D4, G4, you do that for 2 rounds. All right. So D4, G4, D4, G4. That's the verse. So we don't have to go through that. That's the same patterns picking, so nothing new there. Then over to the pre-chorus there. So now you're gonna play the E minor. The pattern for this is hold the chord as it is, and you're gonna play open E, 2nd A, 2nd D, which is the optional note here, the 3rd note. Then open G, and back to 2nd A. Then you're gonna go to the D F chord. You don't have to hold the full chord as it is. It's just enough to go like this. The 2nd fret on E string and 2nd on the G string. So it's nice. You go from E minor here and just stretch it out to this. All right. So the D F chord goes. That is 2nd on E, open A, then open D, which is the optional note here, the 2nd G, and open A. Then you're gonna play G, 2 rounds of that. We're gonna go over how many rounds, so we can come to that later. But anyway, G is the same as we just learned before. The B minor, the same. Then you're gonna go all over again, E minor, D, F, and G. Now, how do we play it? So, we're gonna play E minor 1 round, the D, F 1 round, the G 2 rounds, then B minor 4 rounds, then you start all over again and play the half of this round we just learned. So that is E minor 1, the D F 1, and then G 2. No, actually, sorry, not G2. It's just 1 kick on G. So that means 3rd fret on E string and open B string together. All right, so that's a little bit further than I should be. We'll have 2 G's later. I will come to that. Anyway, just a kick on G, so that is a 3rd fret on E string and open B string together. Like that, with a pause. So, just to not get confused, I'm gonna repeat everything now. So, E minor 1, DF1, G2, B minor 4. Then you start all over again. E minor 1, DF1, and the kick on G there. The 3rd fret E string with open B plus this pause. I'm gonna play for you. I'm gonna take down the tempo a little bit so you see what's happening. Let's go. And that builds up for the chorus. Now we will leave the picking and go into the strumming world. All right, so let's go back to the G here and learn the strumming pattern. This strumming pattern will pretty much replicate the picking here. So it will be pretty much the same, but with downs and upstrokes. So the D now, and the one strumming round will sound like this. Okay, so that is down, up, up. So down, up, up. A couple rounds of that. So down, up, up. All right, so that is the pattern. Now let's just mention the chords for the chorus. We have D4, then G4, B minor 4, and back to G4. Again, D4, G4, then B minor 2, plus 1 extra down, and a pause. All right, so that is the chords. I can just mention them quickly before we go on. D4, G4, B minor 4, G4. And then again, D4, G4, B minor 2, plus 1 extra down, and a pause. That builds up also for the post-chorus parts. All right, so speaking of the post-chorus, now we have the D2, still the strumming here, so nothing new. We'll go with the strumming from now on. D2, E minor 1, the DF, the full chord DF1, G3, A1. Then you start pretty much the second round of this post-chorus part. B minor 2, E minor 1, DF1, and G4. All right, so there you have the post-chorus part. Let's go with this strumming, and I'm gonna take down a little bit the tempo here so you really see what's happening since there are many chord switches here. So starting with D2. And there we have the post-chorus parts. All right, so we have everything now, almost nothing new from now on, except from some parts here. But for the second round, everything will be the same. You're gonna go all over again from the verse there, play the second round. So nothing new there. 2 rounds of the verse, so to speak, the D, G, D, G, and then you just repeat everything pre-chorus, chorus, and post-chorus parts. After the second post-chorus comes a bridge part. It's about 2 minutes and 39 seconds into the song. Okay, so here you're gonna play the A. You're gonna play for 4 strumming rounds. Okay, so so you're gonna play 4 rounds there, plus 1 down after it, and a pause, and then you switch to G, 1 down, and a pause. That's the bridge part. So 4 rounds of A strumming, plus 1 down of A still, and a pause. Then you switch to G and play 1 down and a pause. Okay. So after that, you're gonna play the interplay. If you remember, we learned it. It was the D4, G4, B minor 4, and G4, the picking. All right. And then after that interplay, it's kind of an instrumental part. You're gonna go back to play the chorus for the 3rd time. You're gonna play in the same way as the previous choruses there. And then you go and finish off with the post-chorus parts for the 3rd time. But now you play it for 2 rounds, okay? So repeat everything again and play for 2 rounds. And the final part of the song is just to fade out with the picking of the G, okay? And it goes for many rounds. I didn't count them. It's the fade out there, so you just go for G perhaps 8 to 10 times, not sure, but that is actually how this cool song Wanted from CODY ends. So a nice song there. Happy that I found it, and it has this positive, good energy to it. So give it a try if you really want to practice your pickings, and you can do that with a pick, or like I do with your fingers here. I'm used to that, so that's how I play when I pick. I think that is a great way of handling a song and practice on just to be secure when it comes to pick different notes on a guitar. So give it a try. It's a nice song to practice strumming and picking. So thank you for watching, guys, and thank you for supporting me. Leave a comment, thumb up this tutorial, subscribe. Until next time, play tuned.